Right then viewers, I thought I'd show you through some analytics of my page. Here we have the subscriber notice bell. So, you know, people have the notification bell turned on. 9% if you lost 419 people. I'm actually quite surprised at that. So thank you, first of all, for that. But this, oh my god, this disgusts me. 50% of the people who watched in the last 28 days, over half, that's a 0.9, that's over half, have not pressed that subscribe button. I am offended. However, below it though, 0.4 of the people who have watched in the last 28 days, which we have a look up here, unique viewers, is 12,000 of you, so 0.4 of them are females, and I know exactly why you are coming to this channel. But no, going back to this needs to change. Can we please get this close to like, well, at least more subscribed than non-subscribed? At least. Livid. Hello there everyone, welcome to another player spotlight. Today, I promised you last week that we would have a player that you guys would never have heard of, and I can probably guarantee that unless you're either from this country or you support this team, or you're Ryan Cassidy, you would never have heard of this player. He can do a job in the lower leagues for sure, because I've tried it, and I'm going to show you that today, a lower reputation league, and he costs you around about 5 grand. An absolute bargain. Of course, you have to have a certain country loaded. Well, we'll talk about that. Shall we have a look at the player? This is the player, viewers, John Ramirez, and John spelled the H above the O, or in front of the O, so don't ask why, but that is his name. And I think you can see already, he's just 16, but he has some really good fundamental attributes. Really good fundamental attributes, and I think, can we see, his current ability is only an 80, that's fine, but a starting point that we have here of 14 dribbling, finishing and fast touch with 18 determination, I think that's a variable dependent on his potential. Every time you load that will be different. But 14 off the ball, good acceleration, decent pace. This guy is unheard. I've never heard of him, but he could be an absolute boss. Now you can sign him as an approach to sign, however, don't do it because it will cost you so much more money than if you just offer them. Because he is only worth 2.5k, so if we take off the percentage of next sale, which if you add the percentage of next sale, then it will obviously be cheaper, but I don't like that. If we do that 7.5 there, let's knock them. I'm going up to like 5k. It's not necessary. For 5 million, sorry, it's not necessary. I think, can we get that for that much? 4.5k. 4.5k. How can you argue with a price like that? Accepted straight away. Now, he will have some work permit issues if you're trying to get him in countries where he is needing a work permit. God damn you, Brexit. However, for other countries where a work permit is not needed and the rules on foreign players is a little bit more lenient and you can have a certain amount, then this man is an absolute bargain and you need to pick him up immediately. But before we show you what club we have put him in and have a look at the player spotlight itself and go a little bit further into the future, you guys have been smashing that like button massively. It's been taking an absolute battering and the comments keep flying in and I'm absolutely loving it. Recently we've had some really good player spotlights and I want to keep this momentum going. I want to see if you can set, well, if I can set a like target and you can beat it. So far we're averaging around about 170 likes after a day on a player spotlight video. Can we get to 250 likes within a day of this video being out? And then as well, comment down below. If we can get 250 likes and 100 comments, then I will find another player just like this, which I do have some, believe me, I have some, and I will make another video, another player spotlight, because I know how much you enjoy them. You're all telling me, you're all suggesting me different players. I'm adding them all to the list. The list is getting bigger and bigger. We're probably going to have to postpone FM21 by the time I go through the player spotlight list that I have. But if you manage to beat that like target and that comment target, then I will upload another one this week. That's right. That's right. I'm good to you guys, aren't I? I genuinely think since I said that I would lower my schedule-wise down so I do less videos, I've actually done more. So, okay, here we are. It is at the start of the save. we are Vittorio Constanta. Now, you might be thinking, I recognise that club. That is because Louis Montanu, the first player spotlight I ever did for FM19, a player that you guys all refer to, that you liked me for bringing your attention to him, King Louis, we have decided to put John Ramirez at this club. So here he is. Here is John Ramirez. Now, I have put him as a transfer, a future transfer. However, people in the comments have suggested putting him on loan, and a long-term loan deal, so that I can help with preferred moves. So that's definitely something I'm going to look into in the future, because that will help massively instead. So John Ramirez, here he is. We do have an 18 determination again, so that's good. But we also have less dribbling, but we have better pace. So remember, with potential rating, things can fluctuate. Off the ball, slightly worse as well. Things can fluctuate, but that's fine. That's completely fine. For this club we have right now, we have a 3.5 star potential, going up to a 4.5 star potential. So that's fine. He can play a false nine, advance forward. The tactic, I'm going to be varying different tactics. I kind of want to play two up top so that we can get Louis Montanu. Remember, I'm also going to be doing the transfers myself. Anyway, enough of that. Let's have a look how he does after one season. So we're at the end of the first season then, and Vittorio, who were predicted to finish 4th, by the way, won the league. So that's fantastic. Ignore that it says play 10. That's in the second part of the league structure. When you play in like the championship group, you play all of the other 5 teams twice. So that's what that means, and the points gets halved, I do believe. Romanians, please tell me if that is wrong. But before we go any further and I blabber on and go on about Romanian rules, John Ramirez is the top scorer of the club. Now, he only has 19 goals, but as you can see, he has got better and better. We have a couple of 15s now. His first touch is getting so much better. He has a better first touch than Romelu Lukaku, and he's just 17, and he's from the Dominican Republic, which I haven't spoken about before. This is the club that he comes from, the Dominican Republic. He's also played in Argentina at a really young age, but you can find him at Dominican Republic. Now, John, you've done really well. 15 league goals in 31 appearances. That's really good. For a 16-year-old turning 17, 4 assists and a 7.17 average rating. 19 goals in total with 4 assists. So he didn't get any more assists. But I think we can say that they've done really well. They won the Super Cup, but they didn't win the Romanian Cup. And they were also knocked out the group stage of the Europa League. So that's fine. We can deal with that. Europe-wise, we're not necessarily going to be looking into it too much. If we get like later on into quarterfinals or semi-finals of like Europa League, then I think that is a massive success. But the Cups and the League, I would expect us to be doing really well with this player, and this is what we need to look at. So I have also been playing Louis Montanu up top with him, and look at him. Oh, look at him. Reminds me of the good old days. Hey, what a player he is. We'll just check him. We'll just see how he's getting on. 14 in 4, so really good. Now we're here at the end of the second season. Now remember, I only holiday these, but I do all the transfers and everything beforehand, and we finish in 2nd place, 3 points off top. So really quite disappointing season, but still, you know, we done well. I can also see that we won the cup competition, so that's a plus, massive plus for that. We knocked out the group stage of the Champions League. We didn't go into Europa League, which tells me that we finished 4th in the group. We won't look at that, shall we? How has John been doing? Well, he is top scorer again. John is top scorer again. Now he's at the age of 18. He's just turning 19 very soon. But I think you can agree that we have a couple of 16s here, which makes him look even more appealing every time we see him. A 15 heading now, 15 technique. It's just this up here, isn't it? It's just this up here that's changing him from being one of these players that you consider to be like a lower end Premier League player to like what we're considering as his actual standard, like the Romanian league or lower leagues in the English league if you manage to get a work permit. I think, you know, he would dominate in League 2 for definite, and he'll probably hold his own in League 1. Championship, you may get an on and off season depending on your tactic and the players around him, but for this standard in the Romanian divisions, no offense to Romanian people, I love your league because of certain players and teams that I have fell in love with through this game. But this is the perfect standard for John Ramirez. 23 goals and 5 assists with 6 player of the matches, a 7.34 average rating. He's dominating this league. He is absolutely, I mean, surely he got top scorer of the league. Yes, he did. 23. Oh, he walked it. Absolutely walked it, and he was up there as well with the 3rd place in the average rating. Now, some bad news. We had some transfers out, and I will show you the transfers because we had certain players leave, and one of them was Louis Montanu. Now, I don't necessarily do the player sales. I only ever do the players in, and they offered 5 million Manchester City, and he's gone. We also lost another player there and another one there for 4.3. So we had some money. I spent 8 million, and I brought in a few decent Romanian players. There's no point showing you them, but I did. That's what I did, and we still had a fairly successful season. Now, John is sort of our focal point of the attack. We need to make sure he keeps it that way. Right, we're at the end of the 2022 season, the midway point of this experiment. I've gone 5 years, and John is not top scorer anymore. That's disappointing, but we have won the league once again. 2 points clear of Craiova. Probably not, but we do have a £24 million transfer budget. We'll get to that. And £120,000 available in the wage budget. We are now rich, definitely. Now, John Ramirez, how have you been doing, sir? Very well, thank you. Composure's gone up slightly. Anticipation's gone up slightly. Some decent physicals again. The technicals are all good where we need them to be. And I think so far, so good. Now, if we have a look at his season, not as good as last season. And maybe that plays a part of the people around him. Maybe he's not the focal point of the attack anymore. Maybe I signed too many good players. Who knows? But we still had a decent season. 13 and 31 appearances is nothing to be laughed at. It's just the fact that he had a much better season beforehand. Still 5 assists and 3 player of the matches with a good average rating. And if we do have a look at his progress, we are laughing in regards to how well he's been doing. Now, I did say in the last video with Brandon Cortez, some of these don't seem right. How, we can see that they've gone up by 3, but the arrow is only telling us he's gone up by 2. Good explanation. Thank you very much. That potentially it's like a 2 point. It's 0.5 or something like that. So they round up, whereas he hasn't actually gone up. So that's the reason why. I hope you understand that, because when you guys explained it, it completely made sense to me. Now, I have been training him to rise his composure, and if I do show you this, can I see this? Can I? Yes, attacking movement. And if we have a look at attacking movement, that trains off the ball anticipation and decisions. So that's what we need. And if we go back to John Ramirez, because I clicked on the wrong thing, and we go back to progress, here we go. As you can see, his composure's gone up by 4 as well, so that's fantastic. But anticipation 3 and decisions of 3, off the ball of 3, those things have been working for me. So I'm really happy with how he's responded to the training that we've been giving him. He also can now he's fairly good at dribbling the ball, which will help in the final third, especially with an acceleration and agility of 16 and 17. Happy days for John Ramirez. I think we have a very good player on our hands here. He's just 19, about to turn 20. We're still nowhere near his prime, and he's doing very good stuff for Vittorio. We also won the cup as well, so a double, a league double, domestic double there. So that's fantastic stuff. And the UEFA Conference, which is the Europa League, the second one, knocked out the best place 4th qualifying round. No Europe this year, never mind. Transfers though, we had £20 million on the outs. A few big names that we had. A couple were going to Chelsea, and this goalkeeper who came through our youth academy. I didn't even touch the facilities, to be honest. I completely forgot that. But I think because we had the league loaded, we managed to get a few decent players in through that. I did sign a couple of players. I signed a couple of players who I think could be amazing for us in the future, like this man, an 18-year-old who is already a 4.5 star. So he looks really good. Omar Rodriguez, who could be a very good striker to go alongside John up front. So he's very good. And we also have this man, Adam, who is a Romanian player, 4-star ability already. I don't think he is, but still, he apparently so. So a few good players around him to hopefully boost his next season. We are 4 seasons in now, and Vittorio are top once again, and this time dominating by 10 points. I think the signings that I made were a massive impact on that. John Ramirez is back as a top scorer. Get in there. Yes, John. That's what we like to see. You're doing Dominican Republic proud. Is he playing games for them? He is. 32 appearances, but he's only scored 4 goals. They're obviously playing against a lot stronger teams. Now, it doesn't look like he's progressed that well in this year. I've seen a couple of things actually go down, because I'm pretty sure he had 12 vision at one point and 17 agility. Maybe he's picked up an injury. I'm not sure. But if we do have a look how his season went, again, a very good season. Not as good as his second season with 23 goals, but he had 19 goals this time, and he scored a lot more in continental competitions. He scored 7. Now, I'd imagine that was in Europa League. Oh my God, it wasn't. He scored 7 goals in the Champions League. Now, surely that's not in the group stage. Maybe that's in the qualifying rounds. But we also have won the Cup and the Super Cup. Domestic double once again. Treble if you consider the Super Cup, but no one really does. So, still, successful season. We'll take a look at the transfers one more time before, and I only signed one player here, Hernan Baez, who is a good left back for this role. We did sell a lot of our players again. Again, not my doing. We sold the 2 players which I signed immediately. 5 million when we picked him up for really cheap. He's going to be a monster. And Adam Sizes went to Silas. I don't know. He went to Liverpool anyway, so we lost those 2 players. But I still think we got a really strong side. One more year. Let's see how John does in his 5th season in the Romanian League. Let's hope it's a big one. A massive one in terms of success because they won the league by 15 points. Now that is fantastic if you consider that the points gets halved. That could be 30 points clear at the top there. So really good. He is joint top scorer with a player who I signed. We'll look at him later. But John Ramirez, here he is in all his glory. 5 years on, he has got slightly better here. And if we go back to him, you can see his current ability is 123. Now, I didn't say at the start, but his potential range goes up to 130. Which is the reason why he has sort of like a ceiling of a standard of football that he could potentially play at, which is why I put him in this league, because I think this is sort of like a league which he will do well in but not be overcome, but it's still like a difficult league. There are a few really good teams in Romania and we've brought in a few really good players. So a ceiling of 130 potential range, and after 5 years, we're just about to turn 22, and he has a current ability, of 123. So really good stuff, and he does seem to have still a little bit to go. So maybe that's closing in on maybe 126. I don't really know, but I don't think this will change that much. If we do have a look at the progress in total, we can see he's done very well all time. So the changes since we started the game, he's had 6 composure, so that's phenomenal stuff. Only 2 anticipation. We trained out to 3 just a minute ago. Don't know why that's gone down. Decisions of 3. Some really good physicals going up. A lot of the technicals going up where it's needed. How did he do in his final season? He had 17 league goals. So he's averaging around this kind of number, 17. I think that probably would be his average goals in the 5 years that he's been there. And roughly around about 4 or 5 assists per season. So for this standard of football, I think that's phenomenal. That's really good stuff. An average rating of 7.32. Never had an average rating underneath 7, so that's really good. I think, to be honest, he's had a really good 5 years in Romania. He's had a really good 5 years and he's been very successful. They didn't do very well in Europe again. They got knocked out by Manchester United and they didn't win the Cup. So that's actually really disappointing. Signings wise, I did sign a couple of players to help him. One was the goalkeeper that we had to begin with, who we got back on loan, and then we managed to get this man just as a backup. Really small face, but they did sign a few. They did sell a few players once again, which I maybe should have stopped. But overall, I think this was a very successful experiment. This player is very good for this standard of football. I think you'll agree that you could not put him in the Serie A. He'd score some goals, maybe like 5 or 6. But he would just get overrun a bit. He has the fundamental attributes to be really good. It's just some of the mental attributes I think really let him down, especially the composure and the anticipation. If they were like Green and they were 15 or higher, he could do it in certain leagues. He definitely could do it in certain leagues, but I think, like I mentioned, there is a ceiling for this man. But for the price of 4.5k, why are you complaining? This guy, even if you use him as a backup, would be absolutely outstanding. From the Dominican Republic, I guarantee none of you have ever heard of him. Guarantee it. So far, so good. Have you smashed that like button yet? Because why not? Why haven't you? Why haven't you smashed the like button when there's a player like this? It's so simple. It's so simple to do. You literally just, underneath the video, there it is. You press it. It goes from like a pale grey to a blue to say that you've done it. Don't press it twice. Do not press it twice because that undoes what you do. And then that's more effort and no reward for anyone. It doesn't pay. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost you anything to do it. Also, it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. But 50% of you have decided to ignore that. But hey, we'll move on. So there we have it then. I hope you guys enjoyed this player spotlight. Let me know down in the comments if you want to keep me doing like ones where it's for lower league or lower reputation leagues like what this one was today. Or you would want to see the ones at the higher end where you haven't heard of them but they can still do it in the top divisions of Europe. Let me know your opinions down in the comments. Or you're just happy to see both. You're just happy to see a player spotlight, whether it be for lower reputation leagues or the higher leagues. It doesn't necessarily matter. Thank you to everyone, by the way, who's subscribing to the Patreon. That's massively appreciated. If you're wondering why I don't update the outro, I always do it at the start of the month just so those guys have their 1 month in the spotlight there, and then you get yours the next month if you have joined. And if you haven't done so already, patreon.com/MegaLukeGaming. We're actually getting quite close now for me to actually update my schedule to more than what I was, instead of just doing it out of just being nice or getting excited because I found a player that I really want to show you. We are actually really close to doing that. So if you can, just $2. Imagine if all of the subscribers I had did the $2 tier, which is what, £1 something, £1.40. I could retire from my full-time job and I could do a video every single day. That's the dream. That's the dream. So thank you very much, everyone who does do that. Thank you for subscribing and supporting. Join the Discord if you can, because there is so many benefits from the Discord that I mention every single episode. The tactics, the training schedules, the players that people give, and you can share your regen, share your bargains. There's so many things in there. You can know when the video is coming out, or you can know when I'm going live on Twitch. Twitch.tv/MegaLukeGaming. Title Collector is being very good, and I'm so glad that you guys are enjoying it as well. But anyway, thank you very much. I'm blabbering on again, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye-bye. Don't forget, hit that like target, okay? Bye-bye. Well, thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, there's another one below that I have picked for you to have a look at. Also, if you'd like to sponsor me as a content creator by pledging to my Patreon page, you can do just that by following the link below and be like one of these wonderful people. Thank you.